But when this year kicked off, I was like, this is the year. Everything changes. Everything changes. This is eXp 2.0. Like we've got the receipts. The narrative has changed. We're controlling our story. eXp is stronger than ever with Leo at the helm of this. And, the talent that we have here, the leadership that we have here, the marketing glow up, the talent that has joined this co-sponsorship. I was like, let's go. Yeah. So for me, I was like, now what do we do with this? Now we have a responsibility to pour gasoline on this, right? One big fire here, guys, let's go. The phone doesn't stop ringing. The curiosity is there now more than ever. Like, hey, I'm watching what you guys are doing. Yeah. I got a text today, actually last night, from Byron Lazine from BAM Media, obviously. Yeah. Like, hey, Leo's going to be on BAM Barbecue, which I've been on one of the BAM media talks not too long ago with Alex Hormozy and Sharon was on it. And it was crazy. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. That's so awesome. He texted me last night, and this is what he said, which I thought was a really great summary, as we think about how far we've come as a company and just the narrative has truly changed. He says, hey, V, let your peeps know about BAM Barbecue tomorrow. Leo will be on. Comments have been so positive for him and eXp lately, really impacting narrative. And I think that we need to look back, and you said game film, right? And we've won some championships, but we've lost some games. But what happens when we take an L, we should go back and reassess. Mm-hmm. What you saw at the beginning of the year was from the previous year getting my ass kicked. I lost some people. I went through a personal hardship that, my mom got sick with cancer. And when I was down is when you usually get kicked harder, right? Then I lost some people that were like, hey, V, we're going to go to this copycat that's a little bit easier. And I'm like, wait, we were supposed to do this dream together, right? And, things just started shifting. And then I had a moment to say, okay, you get to decide how you want to design this. You get to decide what the next inning is going to look like, what the next championship is going to look like. Are you going to go in with your head down, or are you going to do what you do? Are you going to use this as an opportunity to level up? Where do you need to improve? Where can you be a better leader? Where are your blind spots? And what is the limited belief that you're telling yourself that, we lost the game? Yeah. It's over. Who said? It's just a game, right? Yeah. Now it's time to go back and get better. So I remember when I was down, John, and things were like, we were feeling like we were getting our ass kicked. Can I say that, right?
100%.
A few years ago, we were starting to feel
yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to lie. I said, well, somebody's got to go do something about this. I was like, who are we going to call? Who are we going to go get? And what are we going to do? And that's where I literally was just kind of having a relationship with myself and God. And, I was talking to myself, and then, I was praying to God about like my mom's situation. And I said, God, if you just save my mom's life, I'll be super obedient. I'm God, which I shouldn't do, but I was like, what we do. And I said, and I was like, and whatever you put on my heart, I'm going to do. But I'm telling you, one thing that I used in my affirmation and my gratitude was how grateful I was for eXp, that I was able to spend time with my mom when she was sick. And it gave me the peace of mind to just be able to be present in that transition of my life, which I think sometimes we forget. It's not just about the money, it's about the moments that we get. Yeah. And I'll never forget when I lost some partners, and I was sitting there feeling deflated because I didn't know what the answers were to my mom. And I was feeling like I couldn't help my friends. I couldn't help the company. And I was getting my own personal ass kicked. I remember God said, you should call Spring. I was like literally laughing. I'm like, that's silly. And it was really like the voice was there. Yeah. And called her. I said, we should do dinner. I have a lot of respect for you, and I'll fly out to Utah and let's chat. I was like, I got a crazy idea. And I'll never forget. I also told her, I was like, I'm in a place where I'm just following my faith and following my heart. And I don't care if I get the door closed on me. I don't care if I get laughed at. I don't care if I get, if I get rejected. I'm honoring my calling to just be someone that is, going to go out there and lead the way.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun to see the fruits of all that happen in January. And then this year kick off with so much momentum. And then, talent after talent after talent after talent after talent, not just me, everybody, like everybody was winning. It was kind of like this celebration of just energy and so many wins for all my friends at this company.
Yeah.
And the talent that just kept on coming, that keeps on coming in a moment that I think really shows us a lot. Like, we don't give up. We keep
Mhm.
going,
Yeah.
right? And you got to take those moments and learn from them. And then you
Mhm.
come up with a design that we can redesign this. Like, we really truly can. And I'm having more fun at the company than I've had in a long time. And it wasn't that I lost the love for the company, but it just got fun again, right? We got to,
Yeah.
it got a little crazy for a little bit, but it's crazy when you're having fun. Now the energy is just completely shifted. Just came back from 6 weeks in what do you
Those
call
are
it?
over in Europe.
In Europe. Um,
Traveling. Yeah.
Seeing the global movement, seeing everything that is happening in global, that's been super exciting. I mean, helping open up some countries. I'm actually in some of those conversations. So like the
It's awesome.
momentum is just a
Yeah.
lot. It's really, really cool. So the future is we're running, man. We,
Yeah.
talk to Jay all the time. We've got more appointments back to back to back to back. And it's really more appointments with leaders who are saying during this kind of market,
Mhm.
this is why we're here.
Yeah.
This is why we signed up for this. It wasn't for when it was an easy market. And I've always said that I was a franchise owner, so I understand this. When I joined eXp, it was like if we go to war, I need to be I need to be around some real strong soldiers, and that's
Mhm.
what I felt like. And now the future is like
Yeah.
it's exciting.
It's crazy. Had the did the Seattle rally with Jacob and Elizabeth Weaver, and obviously being in Seattle, easy for Glenn to come down. So Glenn and Debbie were there, and we did a VIP the night before the rally. Just first class all the way. The venue was first class, and being able to have that, and we did a little rapid fire session. Had Kendall on the panel as
Mhm.
well, but I asked Glenn, because I'm a very big vision guy, and being for most of my career being number two in command, right, and always being there in that leadership but support type role. Vision is super important, right? Because if you lose the vision, then your talent, if they don't see the vision, then they don't believe they can accomplish their dreams by being a part of it. And so just really cool seeing an emphasis on the global market and what we're able to do with you know the power of the best business model for real estate, the best business platform out there. And we're seeing it, right? Because you're seeing people that are testing the other
Yeah.
models, and they're coming back. Had a great conversation with Mary Murphy yesterday. I had her on the podcast, and I'd coached Mary for many years, and they just accelerated. I love what she's doing. I mean, they live in Arizona and live in life by design, that they designed that life, and they still run a successful team out of Jersey. And so anything's possible in this business. And the thing that she said, why she came back,
Yeah.
was rooted into the values of this organization. And she's like, the problems that were problems or issues or challenges and why I left were enough noise to be corrected. And they were corrected. They were changed. They were fixed. And I said, yeah, go back to the values of this organization. It's all about the agents first. It's all about being agile. But my favorite one, V, that I've latched onto with this company that I have 100% belief in is the core value of sustainability. I know at my core, every decision that is being made is for the sustainability of this company. And I've seen it so many times that I don't question it anymore.
Yeah. I have to agree with you. And I was on a call with Leo last week when I was away, and I asked him the same thing about the vision, right? Because I have the privilege of being able to just kind of sometimes have an opportunity to talk, and he did he talked about where global's going, but Glenn is very bullish on AI right now and efficiency, and Leo has his leadership meetings with, his team, and he reminds them, like right now it's all about, again, how are we helping the agents win? How are we being scalable? How are we scalable? How are we sustainable? And I told Leo, I was like, man, you know what? It's so really cool is that you have an army of people that
Mhm.
believe in your mission. We'll run through a brick wall, building or wall
Yeah.
with you
Yeah.
guys, and we understand that you're going to have to make some changes as a company evolves, right? But like what they're investing in us as well is pretty cool. When I was in Spain from stage, I mean, Glenn offered, gave he basically, well, they did two things. They had a mastermind where Seth from, the chief technology officer, I believe is, I forgot Seth's title, or AI officer, sat there with the top producing agents and helped them build out prompts and bots. And, they built websites, they worked together as a group to come up with concepts and building what, on Lovable. And Glenn was investing in us
Yeah.
because he believes in us as the agents first. And he was like, look, I want to arm you guys with more tools so that you guys can be successful. But watch what's happening. He says, AI, right? Lean into it. He says, because this is a tool that we know businesses are using and you guys need to use it as well. And we're going to continue to push forward with the AI to remain sustainable, and to stay forward thinking. And it was really cool to see him taking time to also teach us the
Yeah.
tools, right? The resources. He says, even if you're an agent that's never even touched technology, written code, he was like, this is where we're going. He says, we want you guys to come along the way with us. And this is how we're breaking into countries. They were able to launch a country, Ecuador, with they had the biggest launch ever. It got leaked that that the country leader was leaving Remax. Remax started to call all the agents,
Oh,
tried
wow.
to shut them down.
Sure.
Then their website, what was supposed to happen, everything broke. And the global team was able to launch a country with 200 agents, onboard them, and get everything done after it got leaked. It got advanced 2 weeks sooner because they had to. And it was all through leveraging the power of technology, obviously AI, some of the tools that Glenn and them, and told his team, he's like, we can build it. Let's do it. And it's pretty impressive to see what's happening in the future. I would say this as we move into the future, and how Glenn continues to be that brilliant leader,
Always.
right? And I love when Glenn's in the think tank. I'm like, keep him in the think tank, guys. He's so brilliant. And it's
Get out
really
of the
cool
way.
also when he has fun.
Yeah.
You see him, he's having a little bit of fun. And it's cool to see him also with a running mate like Leo and Felix. Man, it gives you a pep in your step. And Wendy's doing, some great things with the marketing as far as the glow up there too. So it's cool to see the direction that the company's going.